as always, kick us off, Ted. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Well, I really thought about going with UCF since they beat Florida, completing Dan Mullen total destruction of the Florida program. It's UCF's first win over Florida. It's their first win over a Power 5 school in the state. They finished with the best record in the state this year. And to cap everything off, they ran the ball for 288 yards right down the throat of the Florida Gators, just cementing the legacy of Dan Mullen.
It all started with the Cotton Bowl. I've said this before. I've said it on Sirius. I've said it. I think the way he acted after that game, it was the beginning of the end for him.
No doubt.
When you tell your players that a game doesn't matter, that just I couldn't. First of all, a lot of people still talk about that episode and what you said about Dan Mullen. I think it's a lot of people's favorite episode of all time of this podcast. But I couldn't believe it then. I still can't believe that a head football coach said that. And I still think that was the beginning of the end for him. When you tell your players, hey, some games matter less than others and some games don't matter at all. That's
because
how you end up
after that
unemployed.
point, they're always wondering if this one means something or does it not. How are we going to treat this one this week, coach? So when you don't keep it consistent, this is what you get. You get a massive buyout check for several $1 million, right? Poor Dan Mullen. But all of that said, I had to go with Lane Johnson. We got a thick six, baby. We got a big man touchdown. How about Lane Johnson today with the Eagles getting the TD?
A beautiful design as well. And not only a TD for our man Lane, but came from Jalen Hurts. You talk about a little OU DNA to OU DNA. That's good stuff, man. And I'll say this, Lane, good hands, man, because Hurts, he did not float that thing to him. That thing was on a line.
Right. No, that's good. I'd rather it be on a line where you don't have to think about it. When it's floated to you, it's like, oh my God, do I catch this or not? Awesome though. I wanted more out of him whenever he jumped into the stands. That guy's got a incredible vertical. He didn't get up much there, but everything else was just spectacular. Loved it.
See, he should have. Did you see who he handed the ball to on the left? There was stairs. He should have just taken the stairs up because that railing was high. That was high. That was a tough jump, even for a guy as athletic as Lane. And now we got to be real. He's getting a little old and he's been banged up quite a bit, even this season. So it's like that was a tough ask for the big man.
It was, but that was awesome. Loved seeing that. Was super stoked for him whenever I saw that come across. It was really cool.
And if we're being real, won the best thick six of the NFL Sunday. Did you see Connor McDermott from the Jets?
No, I didn't see that one.
Big old number 69, 6'8", had to make an adjustment in the air, went up and got high pointed it. It was
wow,
dude. It was. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty impressive. I was like, okay, big fella, nice. I see you. But nonetheless, very proud of you, Lane. Great job, man. All right, who do you have as your winner? Oh, nope, you just did winner. Loser of the weekend. That's the opposite of winner. Loser. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh,
what the hell? Gabe, the Steelers have not scored a touchdown in the first half in 5 consecutive games. You have to go back to 1940 to find a span of 5 games as bad in the first half. Unbelievable. It's got to be done. They got to be done with Ben Roethlisberger. They've got to move on, man. They have to. And I know he's not their only problem.
The The interception he threw on the flea flicker. Did you see that?
No, I did not see that.
Oh,
I
I
had
mean, it
given
was
up by
like,
that point.
it was all, I thought like the ball got deflected or his arm got hit. He was just like, nope, that's just where he's at. It was, this is, this, this is how bad that game was. So obviously I'm usually locked into the Chiefs game. Like I'll watch Red Zone, but I like to watch the Chiefs because I like to watch Creed and I like to watch Blake Bell and Orlando and all those guys. But I focus on the OU guys, and Blake's one of my closest friends, so that's why I'm usually tuned into that game. The first half happened, and my parents were over at my house because my brother and sister-in-law are staying here with my niece. They have been staying with us for basically a week now. And my dad goes, "Hey, the second half of the Chiefs game's starting." I was like, "Who cares? That game is over. Like, I don't need to watch it." That was a
Brutal.
tough watch offensively for Pittsburgh. Like that offense stinks.
And right
stinks.
on cue, they had, and when I say their best drive, I don't mean that it was a good drive. I'm just saying the best drive of the half ended with a missed field goal naturally, right?
Just
terrible.
It's weird. It's always depressing. Like you see it with all great players, but watching Ben Roethlisberger this year, it's just, man, it's made me sad. Like he used to be one of the most entertaining. Like I still remember my rookie year when the Steelers came to play the Titans in Nashville on Monday Night Football. And it was like, oh my gosh. I'm standing under the sideline. I'm not playing. I'm on IR. I'm like, dude, that's Ben Roethlisberger. Like, sweet. Like, and he's just shedding people like superhuman. And you're just like, what in the world? But and then you look at what he's doing now, man. It's just like, damn, Father Time remains undefeated.
Well, I remember my rookie year, Gabe, where he went to a Super Bowl. That's how long he's been playing, man. It's time. He is no TB12. Okay, the Roethlisberger lifestyle is not the Tom Brady lifestyle. Okay, and he's tried to make these big weight loss comebacks, and I'm really going to get in shape this time. And they got to move on. They got to start a new era. They need some, like, they got to get better on the offensive line. Right. They do definitely, but he's a big part of that problem there, man. It's time to change eras. And I'm sure he knows that too.
Some people just aren't meant to go on diets. And I think Ben Roethlisberger is one of those. Just
beer and burgers. That's his diet, man.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. All right. If you are a whiskey or bourbon drinker, goes good with a bourbon as well. Stop what you're doing. Head to your favorite liquor store and buy some Balcones products. You got to grab some of Balcones Lineage Single Malt Whiskey. It was just voted one of the top 20 whiskeys in the world by Whiskey Advocate, and you'll be shocked by how affordable it is. Also, you got to snag some of Balcones Baby Blue Corn Whiskey.
It's made from the blue corn. That's the fancy corn.
And that is why it has won more than 25 awards. Last but certainly not least, you got to buy some of Balcones Pot Still Bourbon. Its big flavors make it the perfect bourbon to drink year-round. In 2012, Balcones Single Malt won the Best in Glass competition, beating brands like Johnny Walker and Macallan. It became the first American distillery to win the competition. This stuff is the real deal, people. If you love great whiskey and bourbon at a great price, the Balcones products are the only way to go. The whiskey may be made in Texas, but the owners are from Oklahoma. To find a liquor store that has it, visit balconesdistilling.com. And our new sponsor, that Teddy will read when he looks at the screen.
Opolis Clothing has the coolest OU shirts. Their shirts look great. They're buttery soft, and they last forever. Look at that one. Beautiful Oklahoma Sooners there that Gabe is showcasing. They're the best. They also have great Oklahoma City Thunder gear as well. Go to opolisclothing.com. That's OPOLIS clothing.com and use the promo code TED, TED, for 15% off your entire order. That's opolisclothing.com and use the promo code TED for 15% off.
For my winner of the weekend, thought about going with Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors.
Woo.
Man, they were missing all kinds of guys. They were on the road on Christmas Day against the Suns. Didn't matter, man. They were able to go get a win in Phoenix, and all of a sudden you look at the standings in the association. The Golden State Warriors had the best record in the NBA. I mean, Steph Curry feels like he's headed towards another MVP. So he continues to be very fun to watch. If you can get past Draymond Green, very fun basketball team to watch.
Yeah, there's two things. You have to get past Draymond Green, and you have to get past Steph Curry chewing on that damn mouthpiece out of the side of his face.
Every time we talk about all you bring up is the mouthpiece. I
hate it. Just put the thing in your mouth, but you can't argue it works. That dude is ridiculous, and he's better than ever, right? It's crazy.
Yeah. But my winner of the weekend, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Woo.
Listen, I know the Ravens roster is beat to hell, right? All kinds of guys on IR, all kinds of guys in the COVID protocol, especially on that defense, right? Man, they probably shouldn't. Their record shouldn't be what it is right now. I think Harbaugh has done a really good job this season, even though they've lost on some of those late game decisions he's made. I don't care. But and they had to start Josh Johnson, former teammate, by the way, Josh Johnson at quarterback in this one because Lamar and Huntley both couldn't go. But anytime an NFL quarterback throws for 525 yards and 4 touchdowns in an NFL game, a regular season game, I'm going to be impressed. And that is exactly what Joe Burrow did in this football game. I know they kept throwing it late, and that probably didn't make Harbaugh very happy, but he's pulled some of those shenanigans in his day as well. So part of him probably respected it, but we talked about this group of skill guys from Cincinnati. I mean, starting with Burrow, Joe Mixon is scoring touchdowns again. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Boyd, and the Bengals offense is fun, right? And maybe Burrow's getting hit a little too much. Maybe they were passing a little too much late, but all of a sudden they're the 3 seed in the AFC, and they're tied. I think they're tied for anyone in the AFC, like with the best record against the conference. Like, they're playing some fun football. Like, I don't know if they're a real contender or not, but like they are really fun to watch offensively.
Well, the NFL playoffs are about being hot at the right time, and offensively, they've got the group that can be hot at the right time. And that was impressive. I watched a lot of that game. Burrow had a really nice run. We've known this. We played him in 2019 and got to watch a lot of him then.
Do not speak of that game.
He's athletic. He can make some plays moving around. But I had him in fantasy and he threw up an 80 burger today, Gabe. How about that?
He was on your
standard
team?
Yeah. Not a standard league, but 80 points today from Joey Burrow.
It's fantasy playoffs right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm not playing fantasy this year. I dropped the ball on that. So what is it? Semifinals? Quarters?
Semifinals. And
so that basically
guarantees
you a trip to the finals, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's over. Seeing the finals. Joe Burrow and Devontae Adams basically got me there alone.
God. We'll talk about that game a little bit. Let's do it right now. For my loser of the weekend, thought about going with our boy Baker Mayfield. And listen, there is no doubt you and I and the vast majority of people that listen to this podcast are cheering for Baker Mayfield, right? There's no doubt. And you look at how he played in that football game, he looked like a guy that hasn't practiced in a while. I mean, he was just not sharp at all against the Packers. And Cleveland's defense, man, kept him in it. and kept him in it. But it just didn't look like Baker was seeing the defense very well. He looked antsy in the pocket. He looked unsure with his feet. Like, I haven't seen him look less confident than that. And dude, I don't know how long it's been. Like, he cut the beard off. I don't know if that had something to do. I don't know, but 4 interceptions in that game. And man, the Browns are 7-8. And I know they're beat up, and I know he was missing some offensive linemen, and the protection wasn't tremendous. He got sacked a lot, but some of that stuff, he looked very uncomfortable in the pocket in that football game. Very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things first. He has been out. He's still incredibly banged up. He's been playing hurt all season, but it's pretty telling whenever they're down late in that game and they're out of timeouts and they're running the football and throwing screen passes. That tells you everything that you need to know about how they feel about their quarterback right now. And I only watched, I watched the last couple of drives, and I had him like 0 of 6 or 7 to end the game, including that last interception. So yeah, it's not going good there right now. He needs to get healthy, regroup, but they've got an interesting decision looming over his contract coming up.
No doubt. It's not gone the way that we hoped it would go for him this season, right? And it's unfortunate because it's clear the dude cares. He's been banged up, but man, just not playing great football right now. And that team they're struggling. They're struggling. All of a sudden, the Bengals are in control of things in the AFC North.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they've had some help. Pittsburgh's offense is disastrous, and Baltimore's playing everyone but Lamar Jackson. So they've had a little bit of help, but man, they sure have capitalized at the right time.
Yep. But my loser of the weekend, and I'm sorry, man, but the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots, the Buffalo Bills, went to Foxborough and put it on your squad. They put it on your squad. Josh Allen and the Bills offense, they did some really good things in this game. If you were watching the game, just had a huge drive in the fourth quarter, took a ton of time off the clock, went and put the thing away. Josh Allen did it with his arm, did it with his legs. And this has been the big criticism from me of the Patriots team. Man, they just don't have enough explosiveness in the passing game. They just don't. Now, Damian Harris, they ran the hell out of the ball. I thought he had a really nice day, but you're just not going to win games against good NFL teams when Mac Jones only throws the ball for 145 yards. Like, it's just, they're not going to get to where they want to go. Ted, just a couple of weeks ago, this is why people need to watch the YouTube, because we'll see, how long have you been doing this fishing motion and really, like, I don't even know what you're doing. You'll explain it.
This is you taking the spinner bait. You're taking it, man. You're taking the bait. They're laying it out there for you, but go ahead.
Okay. All I'm saying is just a couple of weeks ago, the Patriots looked like the team to beat. Like, maybe they were the team to beat in the AFC. Now they've dropped a couple to good teams, and I don't think people are feeling that way anymore. And I think it's because I don't know if Mac Jones has limitations or the coaches don't trust him, or it's a combination of both. But that passing game's got to get ramped up, or it's going to be an early exit for your boys.
It's a ruse, man. Think about it. The last thing the Patriots want to do is to go into the playoffs with everyone thinking that they're the team to beat. They're good. They're not great. Okay. They don't need to be everyone's focal point going into the playoffs. Let's lose a couple. let the Chiefs get hot. Everyone's going to be focused on the Chiefs, talking about the Chiefs, and we're going to slide in there. And lo and behold, oh my God, here we are. It's the AFC Championship game, and New England wins the thing. And they go right into the Super Bowl just as everyone feared all along. It's going to happen. Just relax.
Okay. Well, can't wait to see how that works out for your squad. We'll see. A couple observations because I watched a ton of this game. Number one, Isaiah McKenzie. I think Cole Beasley may get Wally pipped. And that guy, he's got some juice to him. I think he had 11 catches for like 125 and a touchdown in the slot there for the Bills. I mean, Cole Beasley, I know he's getting fined like crazy, but he better find his ass back in onto the practice field, or Isaiah McKenzie's going to take his job.
No doubt. And that 100K is going to hurt a lot worse if you're jobless afterwards, right? Isaiah McKenzie looked good, and Stephon Diggs had another nice day. And how about Singletary? Devin Singletary has the second half of this season, like really the last third of this season, has come on strong for them and started playing some good football.
Yeah, and the other thing, two more things from this game. Number one, there were 10 fourth down attempts in this game. I mean, you talk about teams changing their strategy, using more analytics, whatever. Like, there were 10 fourth down attempts in a National Football League game between the Bills and the Patriots. Every time I looked up, someone was going for it on fourth down.
It's crazy. Yeah. Just calm. Belichick's playing the long game here, Gabe. This season is not about beating the Bills. It's about winning the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right.
Whatever that means.
And then please tell me you saw the reporter that asked Belichick if he had any New Year's resolutions. Please tell me you saw the clip.
No, I didn't.
It's this woman, she even prefaced, she's like, I'm writing an article about New Year's resolutions. It like just goes out and just says it. He's like, do you have any New Year's resolutions? And he just sitting there like, no. And then he's like, maybe I'll have some next week. It's like, it was the funniest. No, that lady's got some serious courage, right? Full well knowing how that probably was going to go. So I give her credit for asking the question. But dude, you got to go track down the clip. It's incredible.
I love that. Do you think that after the press conference that Belichick had a moment and sat down and it's like, I really do need to come up and with a New Year's resolution and get serious about it this year?
Well, maybe. I really wish. And remember, he's softened, right? He apologized being mean to the media the other day. It would have been so good if he would have been like, yeah, my New Year's resolution is to not have to answer any stupid questions. I don't know why my Belichick impression is awful, but I don't know why he speaks softly. That's what I'm going for, I guess. I don't know.
It's not that bad.
Thanks.
It comes across well. We know what you're doing.
I'll workshop it.
I think his New Year's resolution should be not to linger on any losses and just be on to the next game, on to Cincinnati, I guess. I don't know who they play next week, but pretty good stuff.